Hi, it's Dwyer. Today is June the 9th, 2017, right? Game 4 of the 2017 NBA Finals. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Let me just tell you, I believe Golden State closes out the show tonight in Cleveland. I think Cleveland has no chance of winning this game, right? Well, little chance. Life's never completely certain. But let's just say I expect Golden State to dominate for a host of reasons. Number one, Golden State remembers last year, right? Understand, they lose in the finals. They lose to this LeBron James Cleveland team. I cannot tell you how deep the psychic pain was here in the Bay Area. The team went out of their way to set the record for the most regular season wins. They were the defending champions at the time, right? The table was set. They're up 3-1. They thought they were one of the best teams ever in NBA history last year. And then LeBron James closes the show by winning the last 3 games of the NBA Finals. Right? Folks, that's not going to happen this year. Let me just point out that they were so devastated last year that we now have reports that Draymond Green from the parking lot after the Warriors lost to Cleveland last year is on the phone calling Kevin Durant. Right? That Game 7 loss sticks in the craw of the Golden State Warriors. So they're going to come out with personal business to attend to, right? This isn't a typical closeout game. This is a closeout game against the team that beat you last year. I think Golden State is going to be ready. I believe it's personal. By the way, look at the statements of the owner of the Golden State Warriors. While the Eastern Conference playoffs were going on, the owner of the Golden State Warriors said that he wanted to face Cleveland. Right, folks? Golden State's been waiting for the opportunity to close out Cleveland for an entire year. They're not going to let it pass. Right? The second reason is because 2 generations ago, Moses Malone said, we're going to win this in 4-4-4. Right? Now, Philly, 1983 team came close. One of the most dominant teams in history. The Doctor, Moses, Mo Cheeks, Andrew Toney. Right? They went 4-5-4. Well, let me just say, I know Golden State has been diplomatic, right? The guys have not once said, we want to go 4-4-4-4. But you need to understand this team's about history. Why did they try to take down the Bulls' regular season record last year? Right? They had the 1 seed sewn up. That wasn't good enough. Right? I believe that this year, this team thinks that they're an all-time great team. Right? And let me just say, from my seat, it looks that way to me. Right? Certainly looks that way to me. I'll agree in history. Wilt, Moses, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem. The Warriors don't have anyone who could stick those big men, right? Who each played on great teams. But wow, those big men would be trading 2 points on one end for 3 on the other, right? I lived through the 1970s. I can tell you, I saw the great George Gervin, and he was great. But I'm not sure if I've ever seen shooting like I've seen from both Curry and Durant. Those are 2 of the best shooters I've ever seen. And the fact that they're on the team with another great shooter, Klay Thompson, understand, all three of those guys are in the top 5 in the NBA among current shooters. Right? If I said name me the 5 best shooters in the league, those 3 guys would be in the top 5 of most of you. Right? They're on the same team with the possible winner of Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green. I'm sorry, I don't think Magic's Lakers beat this team. Let me just say this too. I was alive in the 1980s. You had some devastating players in the 1980s. Is there anyone watching this video who thinks that Magic or Larry Bird, and keep in mind, both of them have pretty good numbers. I believe Magic ends his career averaging something like 1.7 steals per game. Right? But let's just say neither of those guys would be able to match the defense, I feel, of Kevin Durant. Right? Don't be blinded by Durant's offense. His defense is spectacular. Of course, the best defender on the team, I'd say, is Draymond Green. The second best is Klay Thompson. Folks, Kevin Durant isn't even in the top 2 defensively on the Warriors. Did I forget to mention that Steph Curry once led the league in steals? You're talking about an elite defensive team. That's what they are statistically. Right? Look at the numbers. Don't believe me. They're an elite defensive team going up against a team with defensively challenged Kyle Korver, defensively challenged Darren Williams. Folks, I'm naming guys who have gotten minutes for the Cavs in the finals. Right? A defensively challenged Channing Frye. There is little the Cavaliers can do, in my opinion, to stop Golden State. We're already past the emotional high of Game 3. Right? So you're looking at really a well put together all-time team that knows that if they win Game 4, it's historical. Right? Old-timers, John Sally, whoever, can say, oh, no, they wouldn't have beaten us and stuff. There would be only one team in NBA history that in the playoffs went 4, 4, 4, and 4. Understand, too, that record's unforgiving. In other words, you could be a dominant team. Right? Let's say Jordan's 72-win Bulls come back. They're a dominant team. You have one off night. You lose one playoff game. You can't match perfection. I believe the Warriors are going for perfection. Folks, I think the fact that it's personal and the fact that the Warriors are going for perfection are 2 big reasons why the Warriors win Game 4. Let's also talk about a third reason. Look, man, there are 48 minutes in an NBA game, right? 12 minutes a quarter times 4. Look at the amount of minutes in Game 3 Kyrie Irving and LeBron James played. Look, I know LeBron is Superman. Right? You look at LeBron at times and you think this brother should be wearing a cape. But I've also seen LeBron looking a little tired in the second halves of some of these games. Right? LeBron's human like the rest of us. The guy is playing too many minutes and means too much to his team. Right? Understand, this is a guy who, is getting triple doubles in the NBA Finals. Right? He's the assist guy. He's one of the major rebounders. He's one of the major scorers. He's playing 40 minutes a night. I think it's going to be hard, given the workload these guys have taken on, for them to maintain it in Game 4 against a deep Golden State Warrior team. Right? This Warrior team is deep. How deep? The guy sticking LeBron James, think about it, LeBron James, at the end of the game was a guy off the bench, Andre Iguodala. By the way, when Iguodala gets the steal on LeBron James, commentator Mark Jackson says on the air, those are the best hands in the game. Right? The Warriors are so deep, they have some of the league's best defensive players on their bench. This is while having the Defensive Player of the Year in the starting lineup with, in my opinion, really one of the best defensive players in the league in Klay Thompson. Right? So, Draymond Green's Defensive Player of the Year, Klay Thompson, right? You have to keep a scorecard because the Warriors have that much talent. So this team is not going to let history pass it by. At a minimum, the Warriors are going to come out with a defensive intensity that's going to show a sense of urgency to get in the record books. I think Golden State wins the game. I'm not going to fool around with the point spread. Why? Because when a team is on its way to a championship, even if that team is 20 points better than their opponent, some of these star players are going to take a victory lap. They're going to leave the game early, right, to be with their teammates on the sidelines celebrating the championship. I'm not sure if Warrior players stick around long enough to cover the 6.5. But I am expecting the Warriors, who scored more than 130 points, think about it, right? Scored more than 130 points in Game 3. I am expecting the Warriors to win this game and then to have a victorious plane ride back to San Francisco, right? This is the best team in the NBA in quite some time. Understand, they were up 3-1 last year. Had they won that series, this would be the culmination of a three-peat. Right? Think it through. We remember Shaq and Kobe getting a three-peat. Right? The Warriors, with Kevin Durant in his first year on the team, narrowly missed a three-peat. Right? They lose in 7 last year. Understand, this could be just the start. The Warriors are going to be moving to a new arena. They have the talent to dominate. Guys like Kevin Durant get more money off the court than on the court, and he's already said, I'm willing to give up millions of dollars to keep the band together. Right? You have interesting characters on the team like David West, who don't need the money, literally just came back for the ring. But you'll notice when David West is in the game, he's able to put a body on people like Tristan Thompson. Understand, poor Tristan has been roughed up beyond belief by Jaja Pachulia, right, and by David West. And so, I don't know what can be said. I think it's over spiritually for Cleveland this year. I think they gave it what they had in Game 3, only to have things fall apart at the end of the game. Right? I think Tristan Thompson is in deep lockup. Right? He can't shake off the cobwebs. I think you saw some of the fatigue with Kyrie Irving's three-point shooting problems in Game 3. I think his legs are not what they were. Game 3 was just played 2 games ago. Right? The heavy minutes Cleveland is playing are going to show themselves now. Right? Cleveland was well rested at the beginning of the series. They're not well rested now, and they're going up against a deeper team. I expect the Warriors to make history tonight. Let me just say, there have been some great teams in NBA history. The 67 76ers, right? The Laker team that won 33 in a row. The 83 Philadelphia 76er team that sweeps the Lakers in the finals, right? Jordan's Bulls team, right? Shaq and Kobe, right? Bird, McHale, and Parrish. Magic, Worthy, Kareem, Michael Thompson. Right? 4 players picked first in the NBA draft on the same team. Right? Well, let me just say, basketball has changed. The three-point line now for great shooters, and the Warriors have several, is now a 40% shot. Understand, if you hit 33% from the three-point line, that's like hitting 50% from the two-point line. Do the math. Right? Today, guys are up at 40%. They're in Ray Allen territory. They're at 40% from the three-point line. How could these two-point teams that didn't play this level of defense, look at where the Warriors are ranked defensively in the league. They're like the league's best defensive team. How could teams from an era when both teams scored 105 and up, right, in a predominantly two-point shooting game, compete with this Warrior team where Tom, Dick, and Harry all can hit from 3? Right? Think it through. You know, let me close by saying it's interesting that LeBron has had such a great finals, that Kyrie Irving has had such a great finals, that Kevin Love has been a rebounding juggernaut in these finals. And yet the Cavs have yet to win a game in these finals. Right? How do you know the Warriors, if they played Magic and Kareem, wouldn't be able to allow Kareem to feast, right? Getting 2s under the basket while still dominating the Lakers? Food for thought. I think Golden State makes history tonight. The bet I'm recommending is Golden State on a money line over Cleveland. I know Cleveland's a proud team. I know Cleveland's the defending champion. Right? They've been broken. Game 3 broke the dam. Right? It's still personal for the Warriors. They lost to this Cleveland team last year. Trust me, everyone remembers that. Right? This is a legacy-making game. The Warriors want to be in the conversation for the best teams ever. They want to stand alone for reeling off 16 straight in the playoffs. I like Golden State. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section to this video. Thanks for stopping by.